amendment that helped all the states, not only Tamil Nadu, the entire country. Every state has got the powers to implement reservation in education. So the first challenge came from the Supreme Court, which was nullified by the Parliament. At that time, Baba Sahib Ambedkar was a law minister, and also Prime Minister Nehru was also supportive of that cause. But thereafter, the first, as I referred to you, Article 340, the first commission was appointed by the Nehru government. Kaka Kalelkar was the chairperson. He gave the report in 1955. That was not implemented. That was not even tabled in the Parliament. So it has a natural death. So thereafter, nothing happened for the backward classes at the central level. Only in the state governments and wherever the social justice forces were able to take up, there some measures were taken for the welfare of the backward classes. And at the central government, there was no effort taken up to 1978 when Janata Party government came under the leadership of Morarji Desai, and Charan Singh took a lead in forming the second Backward Classes Commission under the leadership of great B.P. Mandal. So he gave the report on December 1980. At that time, the government also changed. Congress government under the leadership of Indira Gandhi came. So the B.P. Mandal gave the report to the Prime Minister of India, Madam Indira Gandhi. But again, as happened in the Kaka Kalelkar Commission, the report was not tabled in the Parliament immediately. It took nearly 5 to 6 years for the commission, for the concern with the welfare of the backward classes to be tabled in the Parliament itself for discussion. So for that, as usual from Tamil Nadu, the Periyar movement took the lead. They conducted 42 conferences, 16 agitations, including Dharna before the Prime Minister's house. And they were jailed also for tabling the commission, second backward class commission that was appointed as per the Article 340 of the Indian Constitution. So the backward classes have to fight for implementation of a provision in the Indian Constitution. But even after tabling of the commission report, nothing happened. It was only in 1990, in the month of August, when the savior of social justice, V.P. Singh, became the Prime Minister. He took one of the measures of issuing an order to provide 27% reservation for the backward classes in central government jobs and posts. But his government could not last for a long time. He has to resign, and there was agitation in the North India, and the matter went to the court also. The Supreme Court stayed the order, and it took nearly 3 years for the backward classes to see the light. It was only after 1993 September, the Jiva was issued by the Congress government, who at that time Sitaram Kesari, who is concerned with the social justice. He was the welfare minister. He introduced this order to provide 27% reservation. But the Supreme Court, while upholding the Jiva issued by the V.P. Singh, made certain extra announcements or judgments that prevented the welfare of the backward classes in the name of creamy layer, in the name of 50%, and also there was a bar in the promotion reservation for backward classes. So the creamy layer concept was introduced by the Supreme Court. Nowhere else it has been mentioned in the Indian Constitution. The Constitution, as my friend Hasan referred, it is socially and educationally backward classes. There is no economic character in the Constitution. But the Supreme Court, they introduced this concept whereby the backward classes were divided into two groups. One is a creamy layer, another is non-creamy layer. In that non-creamy layer identification, lot of steps have been taken, whereby ultimately the backward classes who are eligible to have the reservation, they were all prevented from availing the reservation. That happened from 1993. We had lot of hurdles, but despite that, because there was no all India movement for the backward classes, the backward classes had to accept this announcement, and they also continued to implement the reservation. But the effect of all these things is, today when we see the data, It is very much pitiable. Thereafter also, when the UPA government won, they came in 2005. Arjun Singh was the HRD minister. He brought an amendment in the constitution, Article 15(5), to provide reservation in the central education institutions. Till then, OBCs do not have a reservation in the education institutions in the central government. So he brought the amendment. For that also, the matter went to the Supreme Court. Again, it was stayed. Another after 3 years, we have to struggle in the Supreme Court to get justice. Finally, it came in 2008, but it was implemented effectively only after 3 years, nearly after 2010 or 11. We could see the complete effect of implementation of reservation in education institutions. Likewise, the social injustice for the backward classes continued after independence till 2011. Thereafter also we didn't have any light, but we fought for a parliamentary committee for OBC. It came in 2012. We demanded a constitutional power for the NCBC. It came only in 2019. But the two mechanisms are there, but they are not able to discharge their functions effectively because of the pressures from the vested interest. Today, what is happening? In the medical admission in the All India quota, in the medical admissions, the seats are being contributed by the states every year, both in the postgraduate as well as in the undergraduate. But the central government, health ministry, is not providing reservation for the OBCs in the All India quota. This is the greatest injustice. Whereas they say they are implementing 27% reservation in central education institutions, but the central government health ministry is denying OBC reservation in the All India quota seats. This year, 8,000 seats have been contributed by the states, but the OBC reservation is 0. Likewise, from 2008 onwards, when the Central Education Act came for 27% reservation, but OBCs were denied reservation in the medical admission under the All India quota. So far, nearly we have lost more than 11,000 in 8 years. 11,000 doctors belonging to the OBCs have been deprived the opportunity to have the medical admission because of the wrong implementation and denial of OBC reservation by the upper caste lobbied in the central secretariat of this country. Likewise, today, when you see this year in the Central University under the name of Babasaheb Ambedkar University situated in Lucknow, this year prospectus you can verify there is no reservation for OBCs. Even though it is a central university, there is no reservation. In Delhi University this year prospectus has been issued. For the application fee, the OBCs have to pay 750 rupees, whereas the EWS, the so-called economically weaker sections, among the upper caste, they have to pay 300 rupees. So the benefit or concession extended even to EWS is not extended to the OBCs. That much of injustice is happening today. And all these points, all this injustice have been brought before the Parliamentary Committee for OBC. So here, from 2017, the DOPT issued another order in the creamy layer, whereby prior the salary income was not included for calculating income test to identify the creamy layer. But after 2017, they have modified and said that all public sector employees, group A equivalent is class 1 officer. An officer who is joining the public sector bank is equivalent to a gazetted officer selected in the UPSC as an IAS cadre. That way they have categorized the public sector. Similarly, public sector enterprises, all our OBC employees working there, they were treated as creamy layer. Salary has been included, for which our National All India Federation, we took up the matter before the Parliamentary Committee for OBC in 2017 after this GO came. Thereafter, the Parliamentary Committee issued an advertisement in the papers calling for suggestions from the public. In that also we submitted our explanations. Based on that, the Parliamentary Committee had a series of discussions with various ministries, Ministry of Personnel, Ministry of Social Justice, Ministry of Law, and also HRD Ministry, UPSC, UGC, everywhere they had a discussion And finally, they came to the report stating that the representation of OBCs as on 1/1/2016. This is, I am reading from the report of the Parliamentary Committee for OBC submitted in the Parliament in March 2019. The report says, as on 1/1/2016, in Group A post in the central government, total number of employees is 84,705, whereas the OBCs are 11,016. That means 13%. This is as of 1/1/2016. That is the latest data available with the government. This is the position today for OBCs. The representation is not only in the same in the central government, even in the IITs. If you see the faculties in Indian Institute of Management, there are 784 faculty positions. OBCs are just 27, 3.4%. In Indian Institute of Technology, there are totally 8,856 faculties. The OBCs are just 329. That means 3.71%. Not only that, the representation in 40 central universities across India, as of 17th January 2019, professors 1,125, OBC 0. Associate professors 2,620, OBC 0. This is the position in central university. Not only that, in the central staffing scheme of this central government, in the secretary post, there are 89 secretaries. The OBC is 0. This is the position today. This data have been provided by the Ministry of Personal State, Dr. Jitendra, in the Parliament, based on the questions shoot up by the honorable members of Parliament. All these are recorded in the Parliamentary Committee for OBC report, 21st report, submitted in the Parliament on 9th March 2019. So this way, there is a huge injustice meted out against the other backward classes. Recently, what happened after this Parliamentary Committee submitted the report, they finally concluded that salary income should not be included to identify for creamy layer. Agricultural income should not be included. And also, this categorization of OBCs in the public sector equivalent to Group A is totally not acceptable. This is what the recommendations of the Parliamentary Committee for OBC report. But the Social Justice Ministry or the government has not taken serious efforts on that. They silenced the report. They constituted an expert committee, so-called expert committee, under the chairmanship of B.P. Sharma, who was the former secretary in the DOPT. Under him, two other members also joined, 3-member committee. All the 3 members are upper caste. There is not a single OBC member in the expert committee. They gave a report in September 2019. The report was not published. It is not placed in the public domain. But newspaper has come out with the various inputs of the report, which says that the government is going to implement salary inclusion also for identifying the creamy layer. So that way, they want to finish the OBC reservation in this country. They want to remove the social justice concept from the preamble of the Constitution. They want to implement only economic reservation. That is why they brought last year 10% reservation for the economically weaker sections among the upper caste. Now they want to extend the same economically weaker sections among the backward classes. After 2 or 3 years, they will merge both economically weaker sections. Thereafter, they will come to SC and ST. Already, they have induced some people to file a public interest litigation in the Supreme Court of India to categorize the SCs and STs also creamy layer. So the Supreme Court has said that they will refer the matter to the Constitution bench. That is now pending. So it will take another 2 or 3 years. By that time, the OBC reservation will be totally on the basis of economic criteria. So whatever our leaders have fought for social justice will be totally removed. So my dear friends, this is not a question of our economic justice or social justice. Social justice we got because of the various sacrifices of our leaders, because by birth we have been rejected in the society. We have not been given the opportunity to have education. We have been relegated to the background as a slaves in this country prior to independence. Only after the India became a republic, after the Indian Constitution came into effect, because of the parliament structure, we were able to get some provisions whereby some of us were able to enter into the corridors of power. Today, that position is being undermined and totally they want to remove even the existing structure also. They want to bring back the economic criteria which will totally remove the opportunities of the backward classes. Some will say that it will help the poor people. It is all a mirage. It is all a false statement. Let us not buy those statements, because this justice is based on social and educational backwardness. There is no economic criteria. Even when the first constitutional amendment came in the parliament, there was a debate to include economically also, but it was rejected by the parliament. So what was not accepted by the parliament in 1951 is being slowly introduced now, because of the powers that be at the head of office today. They have got the numbers. They think they can implement any kind of modifications without diluting the constitution. They want to dilute the reservation. This is what their agenda, and let us be cautious. Let us be alert, so that only by our consolidated efforts and unified attack on the policies of the government, we can at least protect this concept of social justice, so that our coming generation will have some benefit. Otherwise, we'll be losing whatever benefits we have got so far. We will be deprived of that also, and our generations will be placed at the place where our ancestors were there prior to independence. That position will be coming, and this is what the people who are at the head of affairs, they want. They don't want the backward classes to come into the corridors of power. They think these people are only born to work as slaves. So they want to bring the economic criteria and push us to the back burner, so that we will be ever licking their feet and working as slaves. This is their agenda, for which I request all the students of the country to join together and fight against this social injustice. This is what that in 1925, Periyar at a public meeting in Salem, he said that before the Britishers leave this country, the question of Brahmins and versus non-Brahmins should be settled. Otherwise, the backward classes have to face what he called, under the tyranny of the backward Brahmins, what he called the Brahminocracy. Periyar never went to a school, but he coined a word for the English literature, a Brahminocracy. We have heard about democracy. Democracy means for the people, of the people, and by the people. But Periyar said the country will have only Brahminocracy, for the Brahmins, of the Brahmins, and by the Brahmins. So he was a forethinker. So let us be very cautious, and let us join together and fight against this injustice which our forefathers, our great leaders like Periyar, Pule, and Ambedkar, Sahu Maharaj, Narayana Guru, all these leaders, they have strived hard and sacrificed their life for the betterment of the backward classes, scheduled castes and tribes. It is our bounden duty to be alert and try to protect the social justice concept which has been enshrined in the preamble of the Constitution. With this, I thank the organizers for giving this opportunity. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
For everyone, those who all participated in this host. Thank you, Kalyana Sundaram sir, who is giving an inaugural speech for this host. Thank you, Mr. Inamul Hasan. Also, thank you, Mr. Karunanidhi sir.
Thank you
for your valuable speeches. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now the effort to coordinate these events. So, thank you everyone. Since we have been facing several issues, you have been with us. Thank you, Sri Kalyanji, the State President, NSUI. And then thank you, Sri Inamul Hasan, the PhD Research Scholar from Jamia Millia Islamia University. And then thank you, Sri Karunanidhi sir, who has been working as a General Secretary in All India Other Backward Classes Federation. So thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
For coordinating this fantastic event and the very need of the hour to discuss this topic in the online session. And the way Professor Karunanidhi has presented this reservation as a social injustice is very much reliable, and it makes a sense of creating that thought process among the younger generation. Thank you so much for Vinay Kumar also for taking effort to organize this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.